Okay, let's go into the running back position first. Sorry. On the Buccaneers side of the ball, we got Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette, you traded for him in a league, and you're pretty hyped about it because you traded for him in the perfect time. Leonard Fournette has been doing pretty decent for your fantasy team. Do you play him against the Eagles' rush defense? The Eagles' rush defense has been pretty decent so far this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Like you just said, we're in a dynasty league. It's the first year we've been doing the dynasty league, and I pulled off a trade the other day where I got Leonard Fournette. I think it was like Leonard Fournette and a first-round pick. I was pretty loaded at receiver, but I got Leonard Fournette and a first-round pick for Devontae Smith pretty much. I pulled that trade off. Devontae Smith obviously really good, but like I said, I was loaded at receiver. But my thought process behind that, especially for dynasty, was Ronald Jones is a contract year. They signed Fournette to a one-year deal. My thinking was that Fournette is a better running back than Ronald Jones. So next year or going forward, Leonard Fournette's still pretty young. I think he's only like 26 years old. He could be the guy going forward for the Buccaneers or for another team. Like I said, Leonard Fournette's still a really good running back. In his own. Obviously, maybe it was just the Jaguars. Maybe the Jaguars just weren't very good, so it kind of hampered him. But for what it's worth, he's kind of taken over in the last couple weeks. I mean, before the big knock on Fournette and these Buccaneers running backs was that, him and Ronald Jones were splitting touches. And then you had Giovanni Bernard now coming in and snaking away some passing work as well. But, I mean, there's been, out of the 5 games, Ronald Jones has only played over 20% once. So Ronald Jones is just an afterthought. Ronald Jones is the backup running back now. It is no longer a running back by committee, in my opinion at least. It's Leonard Fournette, Giovanni Bernard's like the change of pace, third down kind of back.
Pass
and then
catcher.
Ronald Jones is the backup. He's the backup running back now. He's no longer like a timeshare. It's backup running back. And the last 2 games, Leonard Fournette, 110 or more scrimmage yards. So he's getting it done not only on the ground, but through the air. He has the 7th most receptions in the league for all running backs. And for what it's worth, the Eagles have allowed 142 yards per game on the ground. That's the 3rd most in the NFL. So, yeah, give me some more Uncle Lenny Fournette. Is that a thing? Did they call him Uncle Lenny?
I don't know.
But he looks like somebody's uncle, even though he's like 26, like I said.
Yeah,
But, yeah, give me some of that Uncle Lenny Fournette. Throw him in my lineup.
I like Leonard Fournette this week. Yeah, you know what? I think what it was is they were trying to figure out how to split up Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, who's going to be like third down back, whatever. But I think with Giovanni Bernard, you can like solidify Gio Bernard is like a good he's good for that third down spot. Versus Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones are kind of like similar running backs. And so, but yeah, Leonard Fournette's doing right now what I was really hoping he would do last year when he got signed to the Buccaneers. But it is what it is.
I mean, just good for him, just quick tidbit before we move on. But, I mean, obviously going from the Jacksonville Jaguars offense, which is not very good in the past, to now you're on one of the best offenses in the league with Tom Brady and all these weapons. It's just going to make his job as a running back 10 times easier.
Yeah.
When you're not facing stacked boxes and you have all these other weapons to account for, it makes his job running the ball a lot easier. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like me some Uncle Lenny.
Yeah. Let's go on to we just talked on him. We got Giovanni Bernard. What are you thinking in PPR leagues? Swing on him, or I think is this matchup a little rough? By the way, you said yards per game. The Eagles give up 142. They're also 4th most yards total for the season too. It's like 612. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, Giovanni Bernard, how you feeling on that?
I mean, for me, I'm not really trying to get Giovanni Bernard. I'm
okay. I'm gonna sit.
Yeah, he kind of came in. He snaked that one touchdown from Uncle Lenny. It was like
I like how you're just running with the Uncle Lenny.
I'm just running with it, dude. I'm taking it. I'm owning it. I think I've heard it somewhere. That's why I'm saying it. But if not, it's ours now.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean,
man, I never even had a nephew.
He's had 4 rushing attempts, and they were all in the last game. So. Not a guy who's going to get a ton of work on the ground. He's probably not going to get the goal line carries because it's going to be Rojo or Uncle Lenny. And then for what it's worth, like I said, it's Fournette's like top 7 in terms of like receptions per game, targets per game, receiving yards per game. So I know Giovanni Bernard is the like quote unquote pass catching back, but he's more of like the change of pace back guy.
Yeah,
he's just gonna get his snaps here and there. But I really do think that this is the Leonard Fournette show over there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we're kind of seeing like the changing of the guard, or maybe just him really establishing himself as being like the dominant running back over there. So yeah, I'm not really trying to start Giovanni Bernard right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you on that. You can go ahead and sit Gio Bernard in this matchup. Maybe down the road there might be a juicier PPR matchup, but not so much against the Eagles, even though they're allowing a lot of rushing yards. Let's go on to the Eagles side of the ball. We got Miles Sanders. No touchdowns on the year. Is that correct?
That is correct. 0 touchdowns for Miles Sanders. That's, as Estancia would say, gross.
So, yeah, but, I mean, obviously Buccaneers have been known to be kind of have a good rush defense and whatnot. So does that scare you away? Are you looking elsewhere besides Miles Sanders?
Yeah, 100%. And just kind of, just a random like side note. If I was to tell you through 5 weeks that Sam Darnold would have 5 times more rushing touchdowns than Miles Sanders, you would think I was batshit crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty
but
wild.
These are facts right now in the 2021 NFL season. So yeah, I mean, if I have Miles Sanders, this is gross. I don't know how deep you are at the running back position, but if I have some other options, I mean, I would definitely be trying to sit Miles Sanders right here. I mean, obviously, we saw Myles Gaskin have the big game last week, but that was largely due to part because he had 10 catches for like 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't get it done on the ground. So Miles Sanders, only 10 or more PPR points in 2 of the 5 games. He's only been over 60 total scrimmage yards 1 time out of 5 games. That's not very good, especially when now he's going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense that have allowed a league low 46 rushing yards per game. They're only giving up 2.9 yards per carry. This is just a gross matchup right here. This is just like red flag, like abort at all costs. So if you have some better options, I mean, I don't know, obviously everyone's depth at the running back position is different, but, if I could start a Javonte Williams, a Melvin Gordon, I don't know, just anybody almost at this point, Damian Harris, Myles Gaskin, like any of those guys over Miles Sanders, I think I would be pulling the trigger and doing that because I say it all the time. Men lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie. And that's kind of what I try to go by is, the numbers majority of the time. And, these numbers are just pretty gross across the board. And, obviously Miles Sanders, super talented guy. And does he have the ability and the athleticism to, like, break off a big play, a 50-yard touchdown run? 100%. I mean, the guy's super talented. But I would say the odds are against him, and I would be trying to avoid this if I could.
So this is the only counter argument I'll make right here for Miles Sanders. It's just pass catching. I mean, he had 5 receptions last week for the running back. I know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't giving up a lot of rushing yards to the running back position, but they are giving up a decent amount of receiving yards to the running back position. I think a lot of it might have been against Myles Gaskin, which is like kind of a fluke. But you got the strong safety and Antoine Winfield out and the linebacker Levante David out. I do think that if they can do these little dink and dunks to Miles Sanders, it might save you. But I'm totally with you, Tyler, on maybe pivoting if you can with Miles Sanders starting him this week.
Yeah, for
sure. You get what I'm saying? That's the only time that I could see Miles Sanders actually doing pretty decent in this game or put up any type of good numbers for you. I mean, the past couple of weeks, you're not excited about Miles Sanders' fucking fantasy production. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's the only thing that I could say, could happen in this game.
For sure.
And if it was Kenneth Gainwell was getting more snap percentage, which we'll talk on it. He's not getting enough. I can just briefly talk on Kenneth Gainwell if you're down.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just,
for sure, yeah.
It's just if Kenneth Gainwell is at like a 30% snap percentage, which is not very much, and it's actually gone down as of recently. So Kenneth Gainwell, so he's averaging about 30. He's 35, 33, 31, 39, and then now this past week was 24%. So there's a lot of hype. Dre's a big guy, Kenneth Gainwell fan and whatnot. But it's just not there. It's not happening. It's not even really like a split backfield between him and Miles Sanders. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing Kenneth Gainwell either right here. I mean, the guy's
he's just not on the field enough.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And to your argument of, getting it done through the air for Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell actually is out targeting Miles Sanders 21-19. So
yeah.
It's just
even on those small
I think maybe
percentage.
those numbers are a little inflated by Myles Gaskin for having the
Totally.
10 catches, 74, I think 75 yards, whatever it was in the 2 touchdowns. So
yeah,
that's why sometimes you got to look.
But that could be
at these
because
things,
of injuries going on with the Buccaneers, that middle of the field kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But so Kenneth Gainwell, I mean, definitely look elsewhere if we're telling you Miles Sanders.
I'm just avoiding this. If there's one running back that I want from the Philadelphia Eagles, it's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, did you like that video? No, not the one of Big Ben completely eating shit when nobody even touched him. I'm talking about our fantasy football video we just did. You just watched. Well, guess what? That was just a clip from the full audio podcast. So if you want to check out the whole thing, links down below. AVG Fantasy Football Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. Anywhere you can get audio podcasts, we're there. Go ahead and check it out. And if you don't want to look at your fantasy team to look the way Big Ben does right here, wait for it. Come on, replay. This is your fantasy team. But that won't be your fantasy team if you subscribe to AVG Fantasy Football. So go ahead, subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to the channel and like.